They come from around the world for one prize. Are you ready? For the wickets.
What a ripper!
For the fours. The sixes. Welcome to the grandest stage of all.
Wow, that is a huge hit. That is absolutely
Where the moments slip through. Where cricketers turn to legends.
got him to the ball!
And legends turn into champions. The cup comes back to the home of cricket. And so does its king.
Dhoni finishes off in style. A magnificent strike into the crowd. India lift the World Cup after 28 years.
Hi everyone, welcome to DE Sports. We're going to be talking about the upcoming Cricket World Cup 2019. As you know, my name is Vinay. I've got Sumit at Lords right now. He's going to be providing some commentary from Lords. Hi Sumit, how you doing?
Hey guys, how's it going? Yeah, I am at Lords. I can't believe DE Sports has flown me over. At the
Yes, DE Sports.
yeah, we're going big. This is our first video, and we're already big. So, got the money, man.
Yeah, right.
This is definitely not my room. This is definitely Lords press box.
Yes, I can see from the beautiful background
Yeah,
there
it's
of the Lords
a
Cricket
sunny
Ground.
day here at Lords.
That is a surprise. That is a really surprise because it's usually raining in Lords.
Yes, it usually is. It is, but yeah, I'm royalty, you know. I get to go, Lord's press box and stuff. So, and I'm excited for the World Cup as well.
Yep. So as you guys might know, we are Indian fans, Indian cricket team fans, and we're going to be talking a little bit about their chances this World Cup, and who we think is likely to take out the World Cup. So we'll start with the Indian cricket team. What do you reckon, Sumit? What do you reckon our chances are?
We've got a really big chance to win it. It all depends basically on our consistency. Now, over the past couple of months, we have sort of been a team that is consistent, and we've got a really great bowling attack, and our batting, even though we've got some questions around the number 4, we've still got a really good top order, and we've got some great hitters, which actually might come into play. And just to touch again on our bowling attack, actually, we've got some of the best bowlers in the world, from Jasprit Bumrah to even Kuldeep Yadav, and a lot of them really play into how the whole team's going to go. So I'm just hoping that we're going to just stay consistent, because we've been really good. Consistency is the key to winning it, basically.
I got to say though, it's a bit hit and miss sometimes. So if you look at India's top order, so the only real consistent person there is Virat Kohli. If you look at Shikhar Dhawan, his form is questionable. He gets in sometimes and then he just gets out. Rohit Sharma, Who knows if he's even actually awake in the first couple of
Yeah,
overs.
he does seem to take some time to wake up, which might be a bit of a problem, considering
Yep.
that they're all day games and they're all going to start at 10:30 in
Yep.
the morning.
It's going to be quite early for him. We're used to having one batsman who is stable and one batsman who is explosive. That's been in the past. That's been India's opening pair. In this combination, both batsmen are explosive, so it's
A
going to
lot
be
of
quite
a lot
risky.
of them are explosive batsmen. If you look down the order, from everyone from Virat Kohli he's technically sound, but he also plays his shots as well. And then we've got Hardik Pandya and a lot of the other players as well. Dhoni, everyone's explosive, but I think it's just going to be keeping that temperament and sort of reacting to situations that are going to come up because there's going to be a lot of them. As we've seen from the warm-up games, there was definitely a lot
Well,
of situations that came up, like batting first on a
yep.
green pitch, which might end up being what happens because uh, England.
Maybe that's why Virat Kohli actually selected to bat
Yeah, it,
in the warm-up game on the green pitch, just so he can, test out the his team's
it,
batting ability under pressure.
it is a good chance, and we'll just go into the warm-up games now. So we played New Zealand, and it was we batted first on a green pitch in England. As you'd expect, we just basically come off the plane. We were the last team to arrive in England. Everyone sort of came a week earlier. Pakistan came a month earlier, played some games. We've just arrived, and we've basically got thumped. And it showed. But it was improved against the game against Bangladesh, where yes, there was some movement as well, but we were good enough to stay in and cash in later on.
Yeah, because the run rate was average in the first 20 to 25
Yeah,
overs, and then it picked up afterwards. KL Rahul and MS Dhoni. We talk about the warm up game that we're talking about, India versus Bangladesh.
just happened. Yeah.
What did what did you think of the bowling?
The bowling was improved, but would have liked it a bit more tighter. The fact that we gave away 260 runs to Bangladesh is a bit of a concern, but we batted really well. As I said, it was a bit tough at the start, and Bangladesh got some wickets, but KL Rahul definitely answered a lot of questions. I was not a big fan of KL Rahul before. I I thought his career was basically finished. Um, so for him to score a century in England is a big deal. Um,
See, that's my point though. The top four batsmen, uh, you could probably only pick one person who is consistent. The other three batsmen will score 100
yeah,
and then have five, six, seven, four, three, and then score another 100 after that. So it's not very consistent with Rohit Sharma, with Shikhar Dhawan, and KL Rahul. But although Shikhar Dhawan, I have to say, the last World Cup as well, he was not in form before
yeah,
that. But when he got to the World Cup, he brought it,
yeah.
and he
He's a
scored
big
almost
match
every
player,
game.
Shikhar Dhawan. So when the World Cup starts, I can see him scoring big. Lately, he hasn't been scoring that great, and obviously Rohit as well. So yeah, it is a lot
Yeah.
of inconsistency around Virat Kohli at the moment in that top order.
There's
So
there's been talk about playing Vijay Shankar at number four. If he's been selected as a batsman, he should be exposed at the top order. He should be played at number four. What's your thoughts on that?
I don't know. I'm not really sold on Vijay Shankar at the moment. I haven't really.
But they're going to select him. They're going to select him.
No, I don't. I don't think so. I think Shankar is more a replacement for Hardik Pandya. I don't think he's actually going to play a game unless Hardik.
Did Pandya play in the last
Yeah, he
game?
did. Yeah, Hardik Pandya played in the last game, and he's got some good fours and sixes. But
Okay.
yeah, I don't think they're going to play Shankar. I think Shankar is more of a backup option.
Okay.
Yeah. So, but I would even try putting Dhoni up the order. I don't know. It could help. It's just
Yep.
like because we need consistency up there. Virat Kohli can't be alone there at the moment
So the problem is you do need Dhoni down the order as
to
well. You need
finish.
Dhoni everywhere.
Yeah,
Yeah.
basically. Yeah, you do.
Depending on the
You
situation.
do, but I think Bandia has taken that sort of role in that sort of lower order hitter. So I don't know. I'd really like some more consistency at the top, but we'll see how it goes because KL Rahul just scored a century, and
Okay.
that was he played really well. He was very solid in defense, and early on he needed to be solid in defense, and then he really hit the ball pretty well considering that we were a couple of wickets down. He did really well, and then he teamed up with Dhoni, and they just ran amok.
Yep. So really, India have a good chance of, getting to the final stages of this World Cup. What they do from there, it's really dependent on the day for India, I think. So yeah, that's what my thoughts are. I reckon India can get to the finals. What they do there on the day, it could be anyone's game, to be honest.
Yeah, it could be anyone's game actually, and we'll just actually go and look at some of the the games that are coming up. It's weird in this sense that the big games are all starting at the front end of the tournament. So
That's right.
we've got if we could just pull it up.
So we've got South Africa first up.
Yes, we have South Africa first up, and then we have Australia, and then New Zealand, and then Pakistan. Now the game against South Africa. So that doesn't start till next week. Now, I don't know if that is going to be a problem because that is essentially a 6-day break from our last warm-up against Bangladesh. Is that too long? I don't know. But South Africa will be on their third game while we will be on our first. So,
Well, I guess it will give Rohit Sharma enough time
wake
to
up.
get over the jet lag. Yeah, he'll get over the jet lag, hopefully. So I just wanted to talk about, before we move on, I just wanted to talk about we always talk about the batting attacks and how good the batsmen are. So we'll just talk about the bowling attacks around the world. So we've got Jasprit Bumrah and Mohammad Shami leading the attack for India, which is one of the best attacks in the world. With consistency with Shami and the attacking nature of Jasprit Bumrah. Bhuvneshwar Kumar, I don't know if he'll play many matches, but we'll see depending on the conditions. South Africa, they have a great bowling attack. It's going to be on display throughout this World Cup. So you've got Kagiso Rabada, you've got Dale Steyn as well, who has some injury problems.
Yeah, that was some late breaking news. Dale Steyn is actually not going to be playing in tonight's match. He's still got that shoulder injury from the IPL. So
yep, they reckon it's just one match.
It is just the one match, I think. Yeah, so it just needs a little bit more time to recover. But
and is there a third fast bowler for South Africa?
Yes, there is one. There's this. I forgot how to say his name. He's a tall guy. He's that tall guy. Yeah.
Well, there's Imran Tahir is going to be playing most likely. Is that correct?
Imran Tahir, I'm guessing yes, would play. I don't think they'll play Philip Ware. I think they'll play Imran Tahir.
They'll go for experience, I think.
Yeah, they'll need experience actually in this World Cup. So we've got that, but yeah, South Africa's definitely a strong attack, but there's other ones around.
And then we move on to Pakistan. Pakistan have, at the last minute, brought in experience. They went with a younger squad initially, and I think a couple of matches that they played against England, they were smashed around the park. So they've really brought in the experience of the two fast bowlers, Mohammad Ami and Wahab Riaz. They've brought them back into the squad. I think because of what happened in the England games, in the warm-up games against England. I think that's going to add a lot of firepower to their attack. You've got, they've been trying out Shaheen Afridi, who is an up-and-coming youngster. And then they're going to be working with Mohammad Ami with the swing, and Wahab Riaz as well is going to be great. So I think that's a great attack.
Yeah, it's actually interesting because, they went with a younger squad initially. And as you said, they got thumped all around England in the past month. So scores of over 350 nearly every match. So, yeah, they brought in some experience. Wahab Riaz did really well at the last World Cup. Mohamed Ami is a great talent, who's actually just been doing really good as well. I don't know why they weren't picked initially. There's a bit of a weird situation there, as it always is. But Pakistan, again, we're at another tournament where Pakistan is the wild card. You know, they can turn up one day and get out for 50, or they can, turn up one day and score 400 and get the opponent out for 50. So they are still the wild cards of the tournament. They basically were the wild cards when they won the Champions Trophy a couple of years ago. So we'll see how it goes with Pakistan.
You know who my wild card for this tournament is? West Indies.
Ah, definitely. Yeah.
Now, a couple of years ago, they were not even in the initial group for the World Cup. They had to actually qualify to get back into this World Cup. But they have one of the strongest teams now, most attacking teams in the tournament. There's opening batsman with Chris Gale at the top, with Hope at the top as well, Hetmeyer. It's just a really attacking batting. Like the other day we saw in the warm-up games, they scored 400 plus runs against New Zealand, who bowled out India for like 150 runs or whatever it was.
That was scary. West Indies on their day can punish you. And the fact that they scored 400, I did not expect that from them.
And they were just flicking the ball and it was going for 6. Now, I don't know. It's going to be crazy, I think. We'll move on to Australia. We've got the Sandpaper Brothers back from their exile. And apparently the Barmy Army has been giving them a lot of flack already.
As you'd expect.
In the warm-up games.
But, the Sandpaper Boys are back. We'll see how they go. Smith, it looks like he's on a mission. He's just going to score hundreds and hundreds, so look out.
Smith is playing well.
He's playing well. Warner's getting back into it, so Australia...
Warner had a really good IPL.
Yeah, he actually had a good IPL. I've heard about that.
So he's a ticking time bomb, I feel.
Any day he can punish the attack. Australia is interesting because for that whole year that they were banned, it was pretty much the downfall of Australian cricket. They lost nearly, I think it was around 16 in a row, 16 matches in a row. And they lost the home series to India, which they've never done before. So they were really bad. But in the past month or two, they've actually really done pretty well. They've really they're unbeaten in the past couple of months. In one day,
and if you look at their bowling attack, they got Cummins, they got Richardson, and Stark is there.
Who I think is going to be the X factor, Marcus Stoinis. He is going to actually probably be a game changer, I reckon.
And you've got Glenn Maxwell in the middle order as well.
Big hitter. He can really take the game away from a lot of the opposition. So we'll see how they go, Australia, because it's an interesting one. They've been out of form for so long, and recently their form is good. And with the addition of Smith and Warner, we'll just see how they go, because really anything can happen.
Yep. And you've got Usman Khawaja in there as well, which is he's a very consistent batsman. The only person in the team I feel is a little bit of a strange selection for me over the last 12 months is Aaron Finch. Aaron Finch, his form has been pretty bad, I got to say.
It's been abysmal.
How many times I've seen him get bowled in the first 10 overs, I can't even count on my fingers. So, that's a bit of a strange selection, but he does have experience. So that'll count in England, I think, especially when the ball is moving around. It could be tricky for him, but I definitely think Australia, with their bowling attack, if they can find the swing without using any sandpaper, I think it's going to be really good.
Australia do have trouble reverse swinging the ball and swinging it conventionally even. We'll see how they go, but I'll be very much interested to see how Stoinis goes because he is someone that can swing it. So yeah, it's just a matter of just go see how they go in the first couple of matches, Australia.
I thought you were about to say, and I'll be watching their pockets and hands very closely.
Yes, I will.
Yeah, so it's going to be a great tournament. I think that it kicks off tonight. It kicks off tonight. I think it's going to be awesome. Actually, no, hold on. Sorry.
That's how you think it kicks off tonight. It kicks off tonight in half an hour.
It kicks off tonight. It does kick off in half an hour. So England versus South Africa. And I think it's going to be a really good match. We're in for a great tournament. Hopefully the weather, stays back. We've had a couple of warm-up games where rain has played spoil sport. That's always the chance in England. But hopefully that stays away and we get a really, chock-a-block full tournament of, awesome catches, hundreds, sixes, everything in England. And I'm sure it's going to swing. It is definitely going to swing in England. There is no, tournament where in England where it hasn't swung.
So that's the interesting thing because, like usually ICC tournaments, they do have very flat decks, but the warm-up games definitely had pitches that were swinging a lot. So we'll see how they go. I don't know. They seem like flat decks, but I think the morning starts really do help the swing. So it could be the fact that it's just the first 10 overs is what you need to really go through, and then after that you can just hit it anywhere you want.
Okay. So I want you to name your top 3 run scorers for the tournament. Who you think are going to be the top 3 run scorers?
Yeah, so I got Virat Kohli, obviously being number 1. He looks like he's in incredible form, and he's been in really good form for a long time. So he'll be my guy for number 1. Number 2, I've actually got Steve Smith. He looks like he's a man on a mission, and he wants to prove to everyone that he's still got it and he can still be an asset to the Australian team. So I've got him as number 2. Number 3, we could see. I'm going to actually give Dhoni this because I think he's going to be the most consistent player of the World Cup. It is his farewell tour, basically. I believe he's going to retire after the World Cup. So yeah, I reckon he's going to be the one that scores the most. And what I liked about the warm-up game against New Zealand, it felt like the old Dhoni. It felt like the Dhoni that had that hunger to just score runs quickly and smash the ball around.
Against New Zealand or Bangladesh?
Against Bangladesh.
Against Bangladesh, the second
yes,
warm-up
the second
game.
warm-up game. Like if you saw the innings, he just looked like the Dhoni of old, and there's something about it that told me that I think he is going to be really consistent in this World Cup, and we'll see how that goes. But yeah, Kohli, Smith, and Dhoni for me.
Okay, so I've got Virat Kohli. I've got Chris Gayle because it's his last World Cup, and I think that he is going to go all out. He is actually fitter than he was, in the last couple of years. So he's going to do well. And I actually think David Warner is going to score a lot of runs. I feel like David Warner is, he's got that good nick from the IPL. I feel like he can bring it across to the World Cup. He's just waiting for that one big innings, and he's going to kick it off, I feel. The top 3 bowlers, the wicket takers, I reckon Cummins is going to be up there.
We can't actually figure out the England guys at all. It's their their home World Cup, so that could be a.
Well, I was thinking about either Joe Root as well because Joe Root is, up there with a very high average in one-day cricket. So he could be a good a high run scorer as well in this tournament.
Yeah, and there'll be run scores, but I think England will have the edge when it comes to the bowling. I think they've got a really good bowling attack. I think they can. They're in home conditions and they know it the best. They will know a lot of the grounds best, more than the other teams. So yeah, we'll see if home advantage actually plays into it.
Well, they're also debuting Jofra Archer as
That's
well.
right. Yes,
So
Jofra Archer is going to be debuting in the World Cup, which is going to be a big thing to do today.
he bowled really
Yes.
well in the games against Pakistan, so that'll be interesting.
So we'll see how they go, England. Home advantage, will it play a part?
So it's going to be a really good tournament. We'll have a few more of these episodes as we go along. We'll do a couple of match previews as well before the game. And so, yeah, we hope you enjoyed DE Sports presenting Cricket World Cup 2019.
Peace.
Don't look down, 'cause I'm on top of the world. Hey! I'm on top of the world. Hey!